Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at something that's been making waves in, well, pretty much every field out there. Artificial intelligence, or AI.
Yeah, AI is definitely the buzzword of the moment, isn't it? But for good reason. It's evolving so rapidly and already having a big impact on how we do things.
For sure. And that's especially true for us in public service, right? I mean, we're always looking for ways to do better for the citizens we serve.
Absolutely. Making a real difference in people's lives, that's what it's all about.
Exactly. And that's why I was so interested to dig into the UK government's updated AI playbook. Seems like they're taking this seriously and want to give us a practical guide to using AI effectively and responsibly.
Totally agree. And what I really appreciate is how the playbook gets straight to the point. It cuts through all the hype and jargon and focuses on what AI actually means for public servants like us.
Right, it's not just about understanding the tech
All
itself,
right.
but how we can actually use it to deliver better services to make things better for people. So let's get down to brass tacks. The playbook lays out 10 core principles for ethical AI use. It's like a framework for making sure we're using this powerful tool the right way.
Yeah, those principles are super important. They really get to the heart of responsible AI implementation.
Should we pick a couple and really unpack them, see how they actually play out in the real world of public service?
Definitely. I think that's a great idea. Let's take fairness, for instance. The playbook really stresses that AI systems need to be designed and used in a way that doesn't discriminate against anyone.
Yeah, we've all heard those stories about AI algorithms ending up biased or creating unintended consequences. We definitely don't want that happening in public service.
Absolutely not. So the playbook encourages us to be really careful about the data we use to train these systems, to think about how our choices might impact different groups of people and make sure everyone benefits equally from these advancements.
So it's not enough to just assume that AI is automatically going to be fair. We have to actively build that fairness into the systems from the ground up.
Right. It takes a conscious effort.
Okay, so fairness is crucial. What about transparency? How does that fit into the picture, especially in public service?
Well, transparency is all about being open and accountable to the people we serve. If we're using AI to make decisions, we need to be clear about how it works, what data it's using, and what steps we're taking to manage any potential risks.
Right. It's about building trust. People need to understand how these systems are being used and feel confident that they're fair and in their best interests.
Exactly. And that transparency can take many forms. It could be explaining things in plain language, giving people a chance to give feedback, or even having independent oversight mechanisms.
So it's not just about explaining how it works, but also making sure there are checks and balances in place.
Right. It's about acknowledging that AI is powerful and we need to use it responsibly, especially when it comes to public service.
Okay, I'm with you on that. So we've got fairness and transparency as key principles. Now, I'm curious about how all this translates into actual real-world applications. Are we seeing AI being used effectively in government already?
Oh, definitely. We're seeing some really exciting developments across a range of areas.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, healthcare is a big one. The playbook talks about how AI can analyze huge amounts of patient data to spot trends, predict potential health risks, and even personalize treatment plans.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like giving doctors a superpower to help them provide even better care.
Right. And it's not just about reacting to problems either. AI can help identify people who might be at risk for certain conditions and get them the support they need before things get serious.
That's incredible. So AI is not just about treatment. It's about prevention, too. That's a total game changer. But I imagine not everyone's jumping on board with this, right? There must be some folks who are a bit hesitant about using AI in public service.
Definitely. And the playbook acknowledges those concerns head on.
Like what kind of concerns? What are people worried about?
Well, one of the big ones is the potential for job displacement. As AI becomes more sophisticated, people worry that it could automate certain tasks that are currently done by public servants. And that raises concerns about job security.
That's understandable. Nobody wants to feel like their job is on the line because of new technology.
Right. But the playbook actually emphasizes that AI is more likely to change the way we work rather than completely replace us. It's about freeing up public servants to focus on those tasks that really require human skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and empathy.
I see what you mean. So instead of replacing humans, it's more about AI and humans working together.
Exactly. It's about leveraging the strengths of both to create a more efficient and effective public sector.
And ultimately, it's all about delivering better services and outcomes for the people we serve.
That's the bottom line. It's all about making a positive difference.
Well, this has been super interesting so far. We've covered a lot of ground, but I feel like we're just getting started. Let's dive into some more specific examples of how AI is being used in action and the challenges we might face along the way. So we've talked about the principles, the potential benefits, but are we actually seeing AI making a difference in the public sector right now? Any real-world examples that really show how it can improve people's lives?
Oh, absolutely. There are tons of exciting things happening. One area that's really taking off is social services. Imagine using AI to analyze data and spot individuals who might be at risk of falling through the cracks.
Hmm.
We could connect them with support before they even hit a crisis point.
That's a really powerful idea, using AI to create a more responsive safety net. It makes me think about how some cities are using it to improve emergency response times, too.
Right. By analyzing things like traffic patterns, they can get ambulances and fire trucks where they need to be faster, potentially saving lives.
Exactly. And it's not just about reacting to emergencies either. AI can help us anticipate needs and be more proactive.
Absolutely. We're seeing that in education with personalized learning platforms that adapt to each student's needs, and in transportation with AI-powered systems that reduce traffic congestion.
It's incredible to think about how we can use AI to tailor those essential services, make them more accessible and fair for everyone. But of course, there are always challenges.
Yeah.
AI in the public sector isn't always a walk in the park, right?
You're absolutely right. There are definitely hurdles to overcome.
Like, what are some of the things we need to be careful about?
Well, one of the biggest ones is making sure these AI systems are truly inclusive. We don't want to accidentally make existing inequalities worse.
Right. We need to be very careful about the data we use to train these systems.
Exactly. It's that old garbage in, garbage out problem. If we're not careful, we could end up with biased or discriminatory AI systems, even if we don't mean to.
So how do we avoid that? How do we make sure AI is used fairly?
Well, the playbook has some great guidance on that. It talks about having diverse teams involved in building and testing the systems and using techniques like data augmentation to address imbalances in the data.
So it's not just about the technical side, but also about building awareness and accountability within our organizations.
Absolutely. We need to remember that AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. It's up to us to use it ethically and responsibly.
And that's a huge responsibility, especially when it comes to public service. We're talking about people's lives here.
Exactly. It's about using AI to empower people, not to replace human connection and empathy.
I love that. Empower, not replace.
Yeah.
So we've got these powerful tools, these incredible opportunities, but we need to proceed with caution, right? Make sure we're using AI in a way that benefits everyone.
Absolutely. The decisions we make today will shape the future of AI in public service. We have a responsibility to make sure it's a future where technology is used to create a more just equitable and prosperous society for all.
Well said. It's an exciting time to be in public service. We're on the leading edge of a technological revolution.
It really is. And we have the power to make a real difference.
Okay, so to wrap things up, I think we've established that AI has massive potential to transform public service.
Totally agree.
But we need to approach it thoughtfully and ethically, always putting the needs of citizens first.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's about using AI to make things better for everyone.
Well, this has been a fantastic conversation. I'm feeling really inspired about the possibilities.
Me too. There's so much potential here.
But as we've discussed, it's crucial to use AI responsibly and ethically to make sure it serves the public good.
Absolutely. The choices we make now will determine how AI shapes our world.
Well said. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive. We hope you've enjoyed exploring the UK government's AI playbook with us.
And we hope you're feeling as excited as we are about the potential of AI to transform public service.
Thanks for joining us. We encourage you to keep learning about AI and think about how you can use it to make a positive difference in your work and in the lives of the people you serve. We've talked about the benefits and seen how AI is already being used in government. But let's be real. No new tech comes without its challenges, right? And AI is no exception.
Yeah, I think it's important to address those head on so we can figure out how to use AI responsibly.
Totally. So what are some of those challenges? What are people worried about?
Well, one of the big ones that always comes up is jobs. As AI systems become more sophisticated, people start worrying about their jobs being replaced.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially in public service, where we're all about serving the community.
Hmm.
I can see how some people might be concerned about AI taking over their roles.
Right. But the playbook actually has a more nuanced take on it. It suggests that instead of thinking about AI as a job killer, We should think about it as a way to change how we work.
Hmm, interesting. So how would that work in practice?
Well, imagine if AI could handle those repetitive tasks that take up so much time, things like data entry or scheduling.
Right, those kinds of things.
Exactly. That would free up public servants to focus on tasks that really need those human skills. You
Hmm.
know, things like critical thinking, creativity, empathy.
So it's not about AI replacing humans, but more about AI and humans working together, each doing what they do best.
Exactly. It's about using AI to make the public sector more efficient and effective so we can focus on what matters most serving the public.
That makes a lot of sense. But I imagine there are other concerns too, right? Like what about data security and privacy? Those seem like pretty big issues when we're talking about using AI in government.
Absolutely. Those are really important considerations. And the playbook addresses them directly. It really emphasizes handling citizen data ethically and responsibly.
Hmm.
Things like strong encryption, anonymization, clear consent protocols, that kind of thing.
So it's about building trust, making sure citizens feel confident that their information is being protected and that AI is being used to benefit them, not to, I don't know, spy on them or something.
Exactly. Trust is absolutely crucial. If people don't trust the technology, they're less likely to engage with it or use the services it provides.
Right, so it's not just about the technical side of things. It's also about the human element, about being transparent and accountable and communicating openly with the public.
Absolutely. We need to bring citizens into the conversation about AI, help them understand how it works and address their concerns. Make sure its development and use align with their values.
It's a partnership, right? We can't just impose AI on people. We need to work together.
Exactly. It's about collaboration and co-creation. The success of AI in public service really hinges on building that trust and that sense of shared ownership.
So it's not just about the tech, it's about the people and the values behind it. That's a really great point to wrap things up on, I think.
I agree.
As we continue to explore the possibilities of AI in public service, we need to keep in mind that it's about using this incredible technology to build a better future for everyone.
Well said. I'm excited to see how the public sector will continue to innovate and use AI to create positive change in the years to come.
Me too. It's a huge opportunity, and I think public servants across the UK are up for the challenge. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the AI playbook, we encourage you to keep learning about AI and how you can use it to make a difference in your work and the lives of the people you serve. Thanks for joining us.